Harry and Malfoy's school rivalry was such an original case of enemies from the first time they ever saw each other, and then one ends up saving the other, and then that other one is forever jealous at the first. Wait, has that happened before? Hello, I'm Julia from the Style Studios, where we talk about your favorite things from your childhood. And maybe you didn't have an arch nemesis at the age of 11. Maybe you did, but Harry definitely did, and so did his father. Today I'm going to talk about the constant parallels between Harry's relationship with Draco and James' relationship with Snape. Let's start at the beginning. Like Harry and Malfoy, Snape and James hated each other before they even arrived at the castle. Snape for James's arrogance, and James for Snape's interest in the dark arts. For this, both of them are like why Harry hates Malfoy, because in this case, Snape and James are both being made into good guys. In this particular case, think whatever you want about their character as a whole. So they both have an actual reason to hate each other. No matter what you think of Malfoy's character, in the first book, he is made to be the worst kid in the playground in every single way. Well, on the other hand, Harry's, an angel who does nothing wrong. But you'll see, as we go on later, that James and Snape's parts of their relationship do switch between whether it's Harry or Malfoy's part of their relationship. Also, a big part of the relationships is jealousy. Of course, James and Harry are never jealous of their counterpart, showing something about their side of the relationship, but Snape and Malfoy were always jealous of their Potter. With James, it was his immense wealth, which Snape never had, and with Harry, it was his fame, which Draco desperately wanted. Beyond first impressions is the back and forth. This is where Harry and James go to opposite sides of the relationship, because of course, James was always the one hunting out Snape and going out of his way to be mean to Snape, while Harry, like Snape, the only fighting that he did was to get back at his nemesis. Speaking of the getting back, Harry and both Snape and James all had a female who was against the rivalry, being Hermione and Lily. Hermione was always against Harry getting back at Draco, for example, the Remembrall incident and the Midnight Duel incident, and Lily was always telling both James and Snape off for fighting each other. After the constant fighting, there is the paranoia. Like the last one, Harry is on Snape's side, where both of them have suspicions about their partner. With Harry's, there's two main examples. First, with Draco being the heir of Slytherin, and then two, Draco being a Death Eater. During their second year, Harry was convinced that Draco was behind several attacks happening at Hogwarts. He and friends even made the Polyjuice potion to spy on Malfoy and get the answer out. He turned out to be wrong that time, but the next time he most certainly wasn't. Harry knew from the beginning of Half-Blood Prince that Draco Malfoy was made a Death Eater without even that much evidence. Nobody else believed Harry, nobody at all, but he turned out to be the only one that was right. Snape was suspicious of James and friends, always sneaking out to the Whomping Willow once a month. We never find out if he specifically knew that Remus was a werewolf, but he was definitely right to have the suspicions, and as we can infer, like Harry, he was the only one. This knowing to be suspicious about something and even mostly being right about what to be suspicious about really shows something about the parallels between these relationships. Now is where the tables turn, where James goes to the good side, which is Harry's, and Snape goes to the bad side, or just like the not 100% good side, which is Malfoy's, and this situation is the saving of the other's life. With James and Snape, here is the scenario. Snape has noticed that James and his friends sneak out every month to go to the Whomping Willow, and he wants to find out why. Sirius, James's best friend and partner in crime, tells Snape how to get through the passageway in the Whomping Willow, where, of course, there is an aggressive werewolf. James hears about what Sirius told Snape and stops Snape from going inside, presumably saving Snape from the claws of death. With Harry and Malfoy, it happens when Harry and friends are back at Hogwarts Horcrux hunting. They're in the Room of Requirement, searching for Ravenclaw's diadem, when the unfriendly faces of Malfoy, Crabbe, and Goyle show up. Malfoy was merely trying to intimidate Harry because he was angry at him for escaping Malfoy Manor sometime earlier, stealing Malfoy's wand, and escaping, probably getting Malfoy's family in trouble with Voldemort because of it. Even though Malfoy tells his cronies specifically not to kill Harry, Crabbe starts the Fiend Fire, which the big fiery doom would have killed them all if Harry and friends hadn't found broomsticks to escape, and, for no good reason, Harry decides to turn around and save Malfoy and Goyle. Lastly, there's the relationship during adulthood. The example with Snape is said all over the books, which is that Snape is in love with Lily and is forever jealous of and hates James for earning Lily's love. He continues to project this hate onto James's son Harry, even though Harry, at 11 years old, was not guilty of anything besides looking like his father. However, Snape did recognize that James saved his life, and spent all of his time in Sorcerer's Stone, when he wasn't bullying Harry, stopping Quirrell from killing Harry, thinking if he saved Harry's life, his debt to James would be repaid, and he could hate James's memory forever in peace. What a nice gesture. With Draco and Harry's adulthood relationship, it's two-sided because, two of them are still alive. And it's like they kind of both took half of what Snape did in memory of James. And yes, I am going into cursed child territory, and I know some people think it's somewhat questionable. I have a whole video on why it actually is canon you can watch by clicking the card. But besides that, I think that most people can agree, despite all the Time Turner stuff, the relationship between Harry and Draco is pretty real and believable and canon, okay? Can I go on, please? On Draco's side, he is continuously jealous of the boy who lived, hating him and blaming the rumors of his son's parentage on Harry, and Scorpius's overall unhappiness throughout the whole play on Harry. Though, come to face it, Scorpius's unhappiness after the first time change is kind of 100% Harry's fault. You kind of even see him try to repay the debt, being kind of nice to Harry and helping them work together to find their sons, and even revealing his greatest secret that he had an illegal time turner to Harry. On Harry's side, he, like Snape, is continuously mean to and suspicious of the other's son for the relationship with him and Malfoy during school. Also, this is despite the kid being related to / friends with someone close to Harry / Snape. With Harry, it was Albus, and with Snape, it was Lily. The relationships between Harry and Draco and the relationship between James and Snape are amazingly parallel and provide such, an amazing feel of why Harry's always be compared to James. And even just, it just builds on everything that you learn about Snape and his relationship with James as the books go on. And also how Harry and Malfoy's relationship changes. It's very fitting in such a story that has so many ties and knots and everything's tied together with a nice little bow. That's all I have for you today, guys. Make sure to like, share, and hit that notification bell. You can subscribe by clicking here, and watch another video on Harry Potter by clicking here. Also, comment down below, what do you think of this relationship? I only just figured it out, and before that, I never thought of it that way. Sure, they were similar, but yeah, so just leave your thoughts down below. See you guys next time. Bye!